What's going on, everybody? It is the end of day number 1 of qualifying here at the 2024 IFMAR IC Buggy Off-Road World Championships here in RC Renovon, Spain. And it has been a very interesting day of qualifying, Maxi.
Yeah, I think yesterday kind of looked like Running Fog was on top. Today, it kind of was like Running Fog was not really there at the top. 3 fourths actually for him. So maybe a little bit of a twist. We're kind of back where in square one with Ongara and Canas being number 1. Track's been evolving, but maybe not as quick as we think, but it's been evolving.
Okay. Well, you were out and about doing a lot of interviews today. I was stuck up in the booth. What was the general consensus today coming from the drivers? Tell me some interesting stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of interesting thing happened today. Number one most interesting thing was when Burak Kilic barged into the press office and said that for Chris to remove the hard race logo from his results, which he posted. So Seismic Tires feeling definitely a little bit of pressure, definitely a little bit of frustration as Burak and Berkan went to hot race for one round. Berkan actually went back to Seismic and went faster.
Okay.
So I don't think that was really the thing, but certainly some frustration there. Same thing in the techno camp talk a little bit with the guys. Joao Figueiredo doing amazingly. He's right on pace with the top 2, top 4. I'd say like the top 6 are the one who's separating the rest of the field.
Yes.
And Joao is part of that. That being said, Ryan Mayfield, the number 1 techno driver in the world, I'd say, probably the highest paid techno driver. He's barely making it to the top 25. So that's how bad he's struggling. And the thing is, from what I heard, it was he had gone to the setup of Joao. He had gone back to his stuff. He had gone again back to Joao's stuff. And also, Seth Van Dalen, I think he's, if I'm not totally wrong, he's probably the second highest placed techno driver. Apparently he's doing his own stuff. He's not even listening to their stuff. He's focusing on his own game.
Actually, it's Daniel Parente.
Okay, yeah, sorry, that's a good point. Daniel Parente, but Seth probably the top American. Ain't that right?
Oh, let's have a look. So, this is overall. Let's see.
Yeah, you have Seth over there. Yeah. So okay, slight correction there. Pariente. I think both of the brothers, Europeans, they do really well. So the consensus in the techno pitch was that the Americans drove in a way that even though they switched to the European setup, which Joao has been really fast with, he's not really having the pace that he'd like to have. So it's about driving style. It's about going around the track in a way that is fast. And I don't know, because that being said, Dakota Fenn, another American, running J Concepts, he's 3rd fastest in the last qualifier, 2 seconds off the TQ. So I don't think there's any real excuses for Mayfield. Something he must do to sort of click into the pace.
Yes.
Today wasn't the day for him. So yeah, really sort of alarms there going sometimes at the techno pits, I've heard. J Concepts struggling a bit with tires. So, and not necessarily tires on the track, but they don't have enough tires for all the drivers.
Oh.
So they're kind of preferencing the few top guys. And then the other guys, they kind of run the second best thing, which is dirt webs. That's not because of poor planning or anything, but their tires got lost in the mail. That's one box they actually needed. That's one thing I heard around the pitch today. Now going through sort of surprises of the day, we have to mention this name, Marcus Carob.
Yes.
100%. He was straight out of the gate today when qualifying started. He made a mistake, a costly mistake, lost about 4 or 5 seconds in the first round, still made it 9th. The 2 rounds after that, 15th and 12th, that's really close to lock him into the semis. I think. That's really close there. He maybe needs one more like top 10 round, but that's really close into the semis for him. Yeah, I mean, other surprises, there really wasn't that many at the top. Well, one guy that sort of surprised at how consistently he was there was Johnny Skidmore.
Yes, another one. He very good runs from him, a 7, an 11, and 11 today. And we talked about the Killick brothers. they're looking for pace. I mean, Barkan is in 14th. Burak is currently in
12th.
In
yeah.
12th, so they're still, you know.
I mean, they're there, but you know, Berkan TQ'd around here a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
Not a year ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, you've been correcting me about that. Well, let's talk about Coelho's mistake today in round 1 on a TQ pace.
Yeah.
And he heard the buzzer and he came in and thought he was done.
Yeah, that was the one I forgot about. So, Bruno Coelho was driving. I had an interview with him where he explained the whole situation about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go look that up. But basically, for you guys, what happened was he was running in front of Barufolo. He was running, and then behind them were cars who was finishing. So Barufolo finished, and Bruno was in front of him. Bruno thought he had finished as well, but he had not, in fact. And he came into the pits. His pit guys had not realized then that he was actually finished. And what they do here at the Worlds, I don't really know for whatever reason they do this, but they close the pit lane once the time is expired.
Yes, and he tried to go back out.
He tried to go back out, but they wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that wouldn't have made a difference because he would have anyway finished third. But a really weird mistake to do at the World Championship at the highest level.
We was talking about it, maybe not running nitro as often. I mean, yes, he ran the Euros the other day and all that stuff, but a mistake. You can see he was kind of frustrated with himself in his interview afterwards. Yeah. He kind of took it on the chin. But still, he's currently in third. JC3 taking 2 rounds. He took the second and third. Ongaro out there took the first round. Ongaro's looking feisty. JC3, JCC, you know, obviously taking these is looking good as well. So no surprises there. David Ronnefalk, we talked about him. He's currently in 4th. Fend in 5th. Skidmore 6th. Barkan Kellick 7th, Elliott Boots 8th, Joao Figueiredo in 9th, Robert Battier with a 7 at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I had a few chats with Robert. It was kind of a weird story for him because he said he was slow and he said he wasn't happy with his runs, but each time out he went better and better, and at the end he put in a 7. Actually, he's just a few seconds back from these top guys, so he's not that far back at the end of the day. So Robert looking, I'd say this is probably significantly better than last World for him, and I think much better than Euros too. I think it's a really strong showing for him so far.
Yep.
Another name I do want to mention, who we haven't mentioned, is actually Phi Long. He had a stellar Q2. He was in 12th in Q2. He put on a really strong round. 1 good round, 2 not so good rounds, so not really there at the overall. But I think he has the potential to be fast here because he's shown that he can be fast. Whereas some of the Americans really, they haven't. Mason Fuller, he had 11th in the first round, but since then 17th, 48th. Good on 1 lap, maybe. Good on maybe 10 minutes when he's taking it really easy. But when he's trying to go at it at a full speed, he starts making mistakes. So Mason's kind of maybe in a little bit of a dead end right now.
Limbo.
Yeah, limbo state.
He's currently turning 3rd. He's the 3rd fastest American. 2nd fastest American at the Fend, Brendan Ruiz. I expect Brendan to climb the ladder a little bit. He's progressively gotten better. He had 29, 22, and 18.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I was talking to Nick. He says it's 3 out of 6 that count. And I have to clarify. Is it? Because I have to clarify because it's always been 4 out of 6. So
that's the thing that was confusing me because at the Worlds the situation is that it's always 4 out of 6. But this time out it's 3 out of 6. I do not really know the reason.
I don't understand that.
I don't really know the reason for that. But that's how it is going to be. We probably should have visited the team managers meeting because that's where they would have told it. But
it is what it is. I'll talk to Javier tomorrow and find out what it's all about.
Why they have changed it, but because it's always been 4 out of 6. But yeah, that's an interesting change, I have to say.
Another impressive run is the Shark, Renault Savoia, continuing on from his Euros. Right now, if it was qualified right now, he'd be right in the semi. He has a 16, a 21, and a 13. So a lot of these guys do have bad runs. 3 more qualifiers tomorrow. It starts on race 7 tomorrow. So the fast guys will be up very early. And then, well, not early, but after about I'd say around 9:45, 10 o'clock, we'll see them on the track.
I think 10 o'clock starts the first of the 2 top heats. So that's really early, considering these guys have not run on this track before, I think, 11:30,
Wow, yeah.
11:30, 12. So that's going to be the first time out where they're actually here, like when the sun's still setting up, well, there's still moisture in the air. That's going to definitely change some things. I talked with a few of the guys there, and they was thinking of going out with the same tires as today, but I was kind of like, well, you're going out really early. And then they kind of was thinking about the same thing, that maybe the tire game is going to change. That being said, I do think Davide Ongaro is one of those guys who actually might have an advantage in this kind of situation, because he's the only guy I've heard who's been changing between compounds. So Juan Carlos Canas, he is running J Concepts A1 Aqua 1 compound all the way through yesterday and today. Hot race guys, they stick with medium. That's all they do. They stick with medium. A few guys, as Nicola said, are running hards, but majority of the guys are running medium. Ongaro is the only guy I've heard to say that he's been going between the soft and the medium. So I think, let's say it's the first round tomorrow morning, he thinks, okay, I'm going to go soft. The track's not that hot yet. I bet he's going to have a little bit of an advantage, because he's been fast with both tires, and that's going to definitely suit the slightly cooler conditions more.
Right. Well, I know in the chat, a lot of the Americans are worried and what's going on. I think guys like Mayfield, Van Dalen, even Rose, these guys need to go home, reset, rethink. They have 3 chances tomorrow. Also remember, this is ladder system. They also have a chance to bump in, because the top 16 get directly into the semifinals, so that's where they want to be. So they want to be in that top 16 bracket, so they directly qualify into the finals. If not, they'll have to bump in from wherever they're in. It could be the quarterfinals, the 8 finals. So we're looking forward to that. Everybody's asking, when are these guys going on the clay tires? I talked to Jason myself. He said maybe tomorrow. Rona, he was telling me, I asked him, he said maybe tomorrow, maybe late tomorrow. So everybody's waiting to go on these clay tires like it's a magic ticket. Maybe it is going to be what they're waiting for. Maybe it's placebo for them, but I mean, others are making it work.
Yeah, I think right now, the tire game wise, Hot Race looks to be the strongest, but at the end of the day, if you're a Canas, you can make it with J Concept. If you're a Fend, you can make it with J Concept. If you're Ongaro or Polito, they can make it into the top 6, top 10. Polito was 6th in 2 of the rounds, I believe, and Ongaro TQ'd their first round in the morning.
Came second in the third round, I believe.
Yeah, I think he was 2 seconds at the end, and then Sismic, as we said before, Berkan went to Hot Race and then went back to Sismic. So I think at the end of the day, the tire game, it's a thing, but it's not as big of a deal for most of these guys. A little bit about clay. The issue with these guys have kind of been that the right-hand side of the track, as we can see behind us, that's definitely like way rubbered in. You can see that the line is completely dark, completely black. But then when we go down to the left-hand side of the track,
it's nowhere near as dark.
It's nowhere near as dark, and I think that's down to the fact that there's a lot of high-speed sections. There's a lot of these sort of switchback sections. People take so many different lines. You don't really lean on the tire there. And then you have a lot of these up and down hip jump moments where there's a lot of spots that you kind of miss the rubbering on. And that's going to make it really difficult for these guys, because even if it's good for the clays on the right-hand side of the track, you go to the left-hand side, you're just sliding out into high speed and you're going to end up crashing. So those are the things these guys have to really worry about when thinking about going to clays. And I think it might actually be that we never go to clays.
It might be.
That's what Nicola said today, that in Barcelos 2 years ago as well, when David won the Euros, they was running softs in the final.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So
that's crazy.
If it's like that, the case could be that we never actually go to those clays we've been talking about all week. And at that point, who knows which tire is going to be best, because it looks like Hot Race now. What if it rubbers in a bit more? What if, I mean, the possibility of rain exists, so anything could change.
I mean, I checked the forecast. We're looking pretty good. It's still lots of racing to go, everybody. Don't be disheartened. Like I said, everybody was worried about Fenn, and he climbed the mountain, looking impressive out there, as Fenn does. I expect Mayfield to climb up that ladder too, and maybe we'll see. Brandon Rose is looking pretty solid. So those 3, we'll see what happens. But anyway, Max, I think that's it. You did a good job. I know you got a lot of content to put up. I'll be back with the RC Racing TV crew tomorrow. Thank you, Max, for all your hard work. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't even know how many videos you've done today. I know you're editing, so if you guys can, make sure you hit that sub, like, and notification button on our channel. Max has been working really hard. I think we've produced 15 videos up to date. I don't know how many you did today. But excellent coverage. I hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. We'll be live, RC Racing TV. Remember, starts heat number 7. So we aren't starting at number 1. So the top people will be up very early. If you guys want to watch, and let's see how it all unfolds. I love a great qualifying battle. I hope somebody else takes a TQ besides Ongaro or Canas tomorrow, and we have a great qualifying battle right up to quali 6. And I would love to see Mayfield and some of these guys get up in the mix as well. So stay tuned. Lots of racing left to go at the 2024 IFMAR World Championships. We'll be trying to bring you all the nitty gritty that we can. You'll be listening to me and Nick Damon up in the booth. We want to say a big thank you to all of you guys out there, the NNRC squad. We can't do it without you guys. And before I go, Max, anything else to add?
Not really. It's been really interesting day today. A lot of little twists and turns. Yesterday was kind of like the 2 X-ray guys were so happy. Everything was all dandy. Today, maybe.
Well, that's a part of it. They're not part of it. They're not out of it. They're there.
But I think the sort of chatter around the pitch is a little bit interesting to follow, and it's a little bit tense all the time. I think the only guys who are actually calm are Ongaro and Canas.
Yeah.
Those two are. Anytime I go out and talk to them, they're kind of like, okay, yeah, I ran. Maybe this time car wasn't the best. Maybe next time I change this. Any other guy who go out there, they're kind of like, oh, I don't know what I need. And it's kind of.
They just know they need to be in the semis because they all have to race in, and it's a lot of, like I said, lots of racing left to go. And we hope to see some shifts and changes tomorrow going into the last 3 qualifiers. Maybe we'll see if weather has an effect with that. Not weather, but coldness, coolness, whatever. It's the condition of the track. I mean, they're gluing up some of the patches now, so that all comes into effect. I think that's it, Max. I think we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, a big shout out to the NNRC squad around the world, and a big sponsor to all the sponsors that make this happen. They are Latara Racing, High Tech RC, Donovan RC, Fly Sky, Ultimate Racing, Techno RC, Elite RC Productions, Carl RC, and Truth Motorsports. We thank you guys. Nitro's the glory. E-Buggy isn't paying no bills here. Max and Lefty out. Enjoy the rest of the coverage tomorrow, everybody. Ta-ta for now.